Next bullet point, get that Social Security number off of your checks and driver's licenses. We still see a lot of those on checks and licenses, so best to have those things off of there. Shred your trash with sensitive information. A lot of you probably have shredders at home. Sensitive information, again, is defined as Social Security number or account numbers. That could be credit card, bank account, investment accounts, anything of that nature needs to be shredded. So that doesn't mean shred all of your trash, but just the sensitive stuff. Along those same lines, sensitive mail, such as when you pay your bill to the credit card company and you put your check in the envelope with your credit card statement, that would qualify as sensitive mail. I want you to think twice about leaving that in your curbside mailbox with the flag up. This is better done at a locking box, such as the blue boxes at the post office or any other type of box that is secured. Curbside mailbox can be an invitation to a thief when you're talking about sensitive mail. The rest of your mail is not a problem to use at the curbside. But ideally, you would take your sensitive stuff and you would drop it in a box at the post office or somewhere else while you're out running errands in town instead of using the curbside mailbox. Carry only the credit cards and documents you need on a daily basis. That's because purse and wallet theft is a huge source of identity theft. Great source of information for thieves. So the less stuff you have in your purse and your wallet, the better. For example, you don't need your Social Security card every day. Some people think they have to have that with them. We see especially a lot of younger people who first get their Social Security card from their parents. Their parents have had it since they were born, but they turn 18, they get it, and they keep it with them because they sort of think of it as a sign of passage. Not necessary. So you don't want to have that kind of thing with you on a daily basis. The Social Security card you need to have for special occasions. If you are going to get a birth certificate, a passport, a driver's license, you might need it then, but you don't need it on a daily basis. Same with lots and lots of credit cards. If you have lots of them, probably don't need them all every day. So just carry the stuff with you that you need on that day, and that way if your purse or wallet is stolen, you have less to worry about. Now, has anybody ever gotten a pre-approved credit card offer in the mail? All right, lots of those. You can actually opt out of those. And many people don't know that you can do this. This is a great way to cut down on your junk mail. You can go to the 888 toll-free number or the optoutprescreen.com internet website. Am I safe to assume everybody here is an internet user? Okay, so the easiest way to do this is using the online service. And this is a clearinghouse shared by all three credit bureaus. And credit bureaus we're going to talk about in a minute, but they keep credit reports and credit scores on all of us, and they sell that information to credit card companies who then make pre-approved credit card offers to us. So what you're doing when you go to this opt-out site is you're telling those credit bureaus to stop selling your information to credit card companies, and then your offers will dry up. So it's a great way not only to clean out the clutter in your mailbox, but also to reduce your chances of identity theft. Sometimes those offers have live account numbers in them, and many times they have courtesy checks in them. So if a thief were to get a hold of one of those, he could open that account for you and create a balance for you just by writing a check. So cutting down on those is a good way to cut down on the chances of identity theft. Okay? If you do get those and you don't need them, shred them.
Now,
Yes?
would that include if you, like your current credit card companies that you already have accounts with?
The question is, would that include your current, I guess the room's small enough, I don't have to repeat the question. Does that include your current credit card companies? No, it does not. It will not include anybody that you're already doing business with. What it will cut down on is the unsolicited offers. So for example, if you buy a GM, if you buy a Chevrolet car, you might get an offer from GMAC Financing for a credit card. So there are companies that you're doing business with, and then they have sister companies that may share information as well. But most of what we get along these lines is unsolicited stuff from stranger companies, and it will cut out those things. So it will make a big difference in the amount of those things, the number of those things that you get. Yes?
I have a question about the Social Security card. A lot of the complaints that I get is, I tell people all the time not to carry your Social Security card around with you. But then what the seniors say is, well, my Medicare card has a
Right.
Social Security number on it.
It does.
Is that something that's going to be changing anytime soon? Is that something they can opt out of and say, I want you to use a identification number?
No, my understanding is Medicare has said that would cost us $10 million to reissue everybody's cards, and so we're not going to do it. So people are stuck with that number on their card. Now, what the policy of Medicare, the position of Medicare is that you don't have to carry that card with you all the time. even though it says on the back of the card, carry this with you when you're away from home, right? So I called Medicare one time and I said, we get this question all the time, just like you do. And they said, no, no, no. What that means is carry it when you're far away from home, like when you're on vacation or when you're traveling. If they're in town, they don't need to have the card with them. You only need to have it with you if you're out of town or if you are going to the doctor. Otherwise, leave it at home. If there's an emergency, you go to the emergency room, you'll get treated, you'll give them your card later, they'll bill Medicare, everything will be taken care of. So that's what Medicare says. You know, I don't know personally of experiences of people who have tried that to know if that works, but that is Medicare's position. But yes, that is a concern that the Social Security number is on the Medicare card. So, and do you work here at the health department?
No, same here.
Okay, at the police department. Okay, so you hear that a lot about the Medicare card. Yeah, so that's the story on that. Okay, we just did pre-approved credit card offers. On your computer, most of us have a home computer connected to the internet. 3 things: make sure your computer is protected from viruses, it has a firewall, and it has spyware detection. And that's another way to prevent identity theft, because hackers can come in and record what you do in terms of the passwords that you use to get into your bank account and that kind of thing. So you want to make sure your computer is secured. And then finally, freeze your credit report. I'll talk about that last, but that's kind of an interesting, cool new trick that we have in Missouri as of about 2 years ago. Now, let's move on to detecting identity theft. As I said, there's only so much you can do to prevent. You can't guarantee that this won't happen to you. So your credit card company has an employee who travels and has his laptop in his trunk and it's stolen. Has anybody heard the stories in the news about laptops getting stolen and people's, 3 million people's social security numbers got stolen when that laptop was stolen. So that's an example. No matter how careful you are, your information could still be stolen through no fault of your own. So it's important to be watching for the signs of identity theft as well as trying to prevent. So 3 big steps for detecting identity theft, signs to watch for, and probably everyone's doing numbers 1 and 2. Number 3 might be new. But number 1, make sure you're checking your bank statements at least monthly to watch for unauthorized withdrawals and debits on your statement. Okay? Don't just take the word of the bank that says this is your balance. Your bank doesn't know exactly what's yours and what's not. So if there's something unauthorized on there, then it's your responsibility to watch for that and find it. Same with your credit card statements. This is step 2. Make sure you're checking those at least monthly to make sure that if there are unauthorized charges on your card, you're going to catch those and so that you can dispute them. And then finally, bullet point number 3, step 3 for detecting identity theft, check your credit report. And we now have the ability and the right to do that 3 times a year for free under federal law. Your credit report, and who's checked their credit report before? Okay, just about everybody, good. As you know, your credit report is a list of all of the accounts that you have or that you used to have. So your mortgage will be on there, your car loans, your credit cards. If you have carpet installed in your house, 90 days same as cash, which I did a few years ago, that would be on there because it requires a credit check. Basically anything that requires a credit check and has an account set up for you will show up on your credit report. So therefore, if a thief were to open up a new account in your name, that would also end up on your credit report. And so that's why checking that report is important to watch for the signs of new account fraud. It's important to note that there are 3 credit bureaus. These are the companies that compile credit reports on all of us, and we all have a credit report. Each one of us does. Pretty much everybody in the nation over 18, if they have ever used any credit at all, borrowed any money, opened any credit card, taken out any loan, has a credit report with each of the 3 credit bureaus based on your social security number. So what you'll do when you get your free credit report is follow the instructions in the second column under where to get a free credit report. You'll see the 877 toll-free number and the website, annualcreditreport.com. And so what you want to do, and ideally what we recommend people do, is go to each of the 3 credit bureaus once a year. Each one is required to give you a free copy of your credit report each year. And you don't go to those credit bureaus. What you do is you go to this site and then you say, I want to see this bureau's report and then this one and then this one. And ideally, you would space those out over a 4-month period. So that way, over the course of a year, you're checking your credit 3 times and keeping a fairly regular eye on it. Does that make sense to everybody?